All right, welcome to the 8th annual Big Idea competition. We are going to get started. My name is Des Stone Menendez. I'm the Director of Creativity and Innovation at CC. Before we begin, I'd like to thank President Jill Tiefenthaler and Life Trustee Bob Seelig and his wife Meryl Seelig, as this event, as well as the entire Creativity and Innovation program, would not be possible without their commitment and vision. So thank you. I also want to thank and acknowledge all of the students who participated in the program this year. We had 31 students across 11 teams register. Of the 11 teams, 8 teams comprised of 24 students submitted their materials to compete in the semifinal round, and 4 teams were selected to receive funding and present today. So this is my 3rd year running the program. I've continued to iterate the program each year to make it more inclusive and more aligned with the values of creativity and innovation at CC. This year is the biggest change to the event, so I just want to take a few minutes to explain how the competition has changed and what the format for today's event will be. You've probably noticed there's not a panel of judges sitting in front this year. There's no Q&A session with the teams, no judging scorecards, and no ranked winners. Excuse me. So, while the program is still a competition, the 4 teams presenting today were selected by a panel of judges in the semifinals, and all 4 teams presenting today will receive $7,500 in seed funding. Today is more of a celebration of the final 4 teams, as well as an opportunity for them to pitch in front of a larger audience, which includes local Colorado investors. The teams do an enormous amount of work to get to this point, and over the last 2 years of running the program, I have felt that all of the finalists were deserving of and could benefit from seed funding. Further, I really think the future of innovation is dependent on collaboration and cooperation. And while this program is still a competition, I hope that the new format encourages more collaboration and camaraderie between the 4 final teams. It's of course iterative, as we can see from the lack of an audience this year. It might be that people were coming for the competition and who was going to win the final. So I welcome feedback from those who have been following the event over multiple years. The format this year is pretty simple. The teams will present. We'll still have raffle prize drawings and short announcements in between. If you're a student, you should have gotten a raffle ticket on your way in. The prizes this year will be gift cards from local businesses. And please be sure to stay for the entire program, as the grand prize raffle drawings will be towards the end of the program. There will be a cheering competition at the end for the teams, so there still is some competition today. The winning team will receive a $200 gift card to Poor Richards. You're welcome to cheer for teams after they pitch, but I just want to emphasize that the actual cheering competition happens at the end of the program. When that's done, ceremonial checks will be handed out, and you all are invited to join us for a reception in the Cornerstone main space. So I think with that, we're about ready for the first team to present. But before I announce our first team, I want to give you all the job as the audience. Even though the teams are not pitching in front of a judging panel this year, it still takes a lot of courage for these students to pitch their ideas in front of you. So your job is to believe in and support the teams. If someone forgets a line and pauses, I want you to clap for them. So first up is Journalista. CC student team members are Noah Weeks, Benedict Wright, and Kobe Bhattacharya. Please welcome Journalista to the stage.
Hello everyone, thank you all for being here. My name is Benedict, and I'm a CC senior and co-founder of Journalista. The idea for Journalista came from a simple observation. The news landscape is changing, and local journalism is struggling. In one sense, today, journalism is seeing a renaissance. We as readers of news have more access to more information than we've ever had before, and that is truly amazing. However, in another sense, with that change, something is lost. And what's lost is a sense of community, that sense of place that a local newspaper provides for people. Before we are citizens of the world or of a nation, we are members of a community, whether that's a city, a town, a family, or a neighborhood. And local journalists are able to speak to that membership in a way that outlets like the New York Times or BuzzFeed simply cannot. What's lost with the decline of local news is the relationship that readers and journalists can have with each other. At Journalista, we believe that relationship is worth fighting for, and that's why we set out to create an online marketplace platform that allows readers to directly support journalists covering issues that matter most to them.
Thanks, Benny. Hi, everyone. My name is Noah, and I am co-founder and CEO of Journalista and a film and media studies major here at CC. Journalista's market is made up of two very large audiences who, at the moment, have a number of unmet needs. On one side, journalists are facing a profession in decline that has shrunk 47% in the decade between 2008 and 2018. Also, in a study that we conducted in a Facebook group of journalists, more than half of respondents said that they are looking for alternative sources of income. These financial straits are in part due to the buyouts and downsizing that are facing the industry. Hedge funds and wealthy individuals are increasingly seeing journalism as a means of making cash and exercising political influence. And finally, journalists are limited in the content that they write by the time spent on page advertisement business model that disincentivizes quality journalism and lifts up sensationalized information. Readers, on the other hand, are facing a disparate marketplace. It's very impersonal, and increasingly users are reading their news on social media platforms and aggregate news sites. With that, they've lost the sense of local connection that they used to have with their local newspapers. And finally, readers are concerned with made-up information in the news. I think we can all agree that fake news has forever changed the way that readers interact with journalism today. Taken together, these are the changing realities that Journalista is facing as we enter the marketplace. First, we're going to attract journalists who want to supplement their income and want a more personal connection with the readers that they are targeting. Signing up is as simple as showing us that you have published your work before. Once you're on our platform, journalists are invited to design a customizable micro-business where they can set different price tiers of subscriptions with different perks as well. And it's as simple as that to get published on Journalista and start reaching out to readers and eventually gain paying subscribers. The reader journey is very similar. Signing up is even easier. All you need is an email. Once you're on our platform, Journalista will use GPS location and user-inputted preferences to curate content that best fits their needs. And finally, once a reader finds journalists that they want to support, they will be presented with those tiers of subscription with different perks, and one subscription truly doesn't fit all. We hope that we can find a model, a price point, and perks that will fit every reader. This is a mock-up of what we believe Journalista could look like. At the very top are articles curated for that user. Right below that is a map showing the user's location, along with stories written in that area and writers in their area. And below that, a trending in their neighborhood section. When the reader navigates to the journalist profile, they're presented with, of course, the articles that that journalist has written, as well as the biography of that journalist, but also the tiers that I was talking about. So in this example, Corey has a tier that where readers can subscribe to get all access. The next one, the insider tier, as you can see, has bonus content and an insider chat room. And finally, to build up that community connection, the friend tier has monthly meetups for coffee. In this space, we have some inspirations and competition, of course. These four characteristics distinguish us from our competitors and inspirations. First, Etsy is an inspiration of us, and they allow on their platform creators and artists to connect directly to their consumers and design their own micro-businesses. Patreon, a competitor and inspiration of ours, facilitates direct payments between users and the content creators, YouTubers, podcasters that they support. Medium and Substack are two apps and companies that are, like us, trying to navigate this new news landscape. However, they don't have the focus on local that we believe is essential to fixing this problem. Finally, the news landscape is changing quite a bit right now, and there are reasons to be concerned about journalism. However, there are also reasons to think that Journalista will succeed in the marketplace. Digital news subscriptions of some of the best newspapers are actually on the rise. In 2017, the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal rose almost a quarter each. The direct payment model between users and creators is proven to work, and Patreon pays out almost $13 million per month. And we know that readers are ready to support ethical journalism. Medium has monthly paying subscribers of 200 to 400,000 per month. Our rollout, using the seed money from this competition, we are going to create a minimum viable product in the next 6 months. Once that is created, we're going to roll out a beta and get it in the hands of consumers. At the same time, we are going to be in contact with industry experts to put together an advisory board. That board will help us draft a set of community standards. At launch, we're going to continue to grow our user base and bring more people into the fold. That will eventually include editors and photographers, and our eventual goal is to create a newsletter to bring those people into the Journalista ecosystem. Also, we would love to provide professional development opportunities for journalists as well, get more voices into our national conversations.
Here's a graph showing our estimated monthly net profit over the next 4 years. For our first 38 months, Journalista will be spending more than we are making. And during the first year, our costs will actually be increasing as we roll out our beta and we incentivize journalists to join the platform. However, at that 38-month mark, we predict that our user base will hit a critical mass, we will reach profitability, and we will only grow from there. At Journalista, success not only means that we are doing well, but it means our journalists are thriving as well. And we predict that in 4 years, the average journalist will be able to make over $1,000 a month on our platform. And that's just a conservative estimate. It's our hope that some journalists will be able to completely support themselves on this platform, while others will choose to just supplement their incomes.
The Journalista team consists of Noah Weeks, our CEO and co-founder, and a film studies major at Colorado College, Benedict Wright, a history and philosophy major at Colorado College and another co-founder, and myself, Kobe Bhattacharya, the CTO and co-founder.
We are also advised by Corey Hutchins, who is a professional journalist and a journalism professor here at Colorado College. Our ask going into the semifinalist round was $7,500, and we are so excited to use that money to create a minimum viable product and eventually reach out to more investors and industry experts. Today, we are also seeking support in all different capacities, and we would love to speak with anybody who is interested in the reception afterwards. You can find more information at journalista.news. Thank you very much, and long live local independent journalism.
Thank you.
Thank you, Journalista. We have a printed program this year, which is also new, but even though we have that, I just want to briefly thank a few people who have put in a lot of time to make this happen. I first want to thank my co-mentors, Natasha Main and Jake Eichengreen. Natasha is the executive director of Exponential Impact, a local startup incubator that focuses on helping new ventures grow from seed ideas to fully scaled businesses. Jake Eichengreen is the executive director of the Quad Partnership, which helps graduating students and alumni from CC, UCCS, PPCC, and the U.S. Air Force Academy connect with local opportunities designed to turn ideas into action. I also want to thank our community members who volunteered their time and expertise to be on the judging panel this year. There's more information about this incredible crew in the program. But thank you to Alex, Lisa, Yemi, Kathy, and Jacob. Some of them right in front of me. It's certainly the most entertaining part of the program each year for me is watching you all interact with the teams, but the program really wouldn't be possible without your support. I also want to thank our communications and AV teams who do a tremendous amount of work to make this happen. And last but not least, I want to thank the entire creativity and innovation team, but specifically Cara Carroll and Seth Wilson Gray, who handled all of the logistics and planning for the program this year, which is truly no small feat. This would not have been possible without you. So please join me in thanking everyone who made this possible. So now I'm going to call up Cara and Seth for the first raffle drawing.
Thank you, Des. I'm Cara. This is my lovely assistant, Seth. And obviously, this was a good year to come because you all have a really good chance of winning a prize. So our first 4 raffles are basically like a perfect college student's night out. You get a $20 gift certificate to Laos, 4 tickets to Kimball's Theater, so it's a 4-movie punch card, and then $10 to Josh and John's to top off your night. So, with that, Seth, please draw the first number. Exactly. All right. Number 46005. That is you. Come on down. You have won, and I know you don't. That's why you're here today. You're welcome. Here's your night out. We'll take your other ticket, so we just know that, you're not winning twice. Okay, oh no. Seth's putting that in his pocket, so it can't win again. Okay, so raffle number 2, same deal, $20 to Laos, 4 ticket punch card to Kimball's, and $10 to Josh and John's, and the winner is 460024. Talk to me, 24. Nice. Yay, congratulations. Oh, and you voted. You totally deserve that. Okay, so we'll see you after the next team. Thank you.
Thank you, Cara and Seth. Our second team presenting today is Geek Girl, but before I bring them up, I just want to point out that the CEO of Geek Girl, Lauren Weiss, who is now a junior, has competed in the Big Idea every year during her time at CC. She was in the finals as a first year, she was in the semifinals last year, and she is a finalist and a winner of seed funding this year. So the process of this program is so much more than what you see at the finals, and Lauren is someone who really exemplifies the spirit in which the program is intended. I really admire her resilience and her persistence, and I'm very proud to welcome Geek Girl to the stage. CC student team members presenting are Lauren Weiss, Maddie Schink, Melissa LaFair, and Sarah Hanahan.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming out. My name is Lauren.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Sarah. And I'm Maddie.
And we are Geek Girl. We are committed to closing the gender gap in computer science by empowering young women to pursue a career in technology. So I want you all to just close your eyes for a second and picture a computer scientist. Okay, now open your eyes. I'm willing to bet that many of you would not picture someone like me. And that's because computer scientists are often stereotyped to be these bad hygiene men coding in their basements all night long, chugging some sort of energy drink, just not good. But the thing is that this stereotype, like many others, is not true. I do a lot of things that the typical computer scientist would not be expected to do. For instance, I'm in a sorority at CC and I absolutely love it. I'm on the track team, so I don't just sit in my room all day and code. I love being outdoors. I love getting my nails done, and I love watching Gossip Girl. The thing is, this field is for everyone. The issue is that only 5% of leadership positions in the technology industry are held by women. And women leave technology companies at a quit rate that is more than twice as high as that of men. So what's interesting is that 74% of young women express an interest in technology when they're in high school, yet only 18% of computer science degrees are earned by women. There's clearly a discrepancy here. There's an issue with keeping young women who are interested in the field to stay in the technology field. I can remember, and this is speaking from years of personal experience, walking into my very first computer science class, looking around and realizing that I was the only girl in the entire room out of 35 students. The only other female in that room was my teacher, Miss Montoya, and having her made all the difference. So we founded Geek Girl knowing that even just a little bit of mentorship can go a long way for a young woman considering a career in technology. So that is how Geek Girl started, and we're really excited to be pitching here today. And this is an app that we're building. I've coded the entire front end of the app, and we are going to be launching it to the App Store in the next few months.
Geek Girl is working to close the gender gap in technology by identifying young women who have already expressed an interest in computer science and providing them with mentorship opportunities. Each Geek Girl subscriber is paired with a woman who's majoring in computer science, working in the industry, studying STEM, or who has expressed an interest in empowering young girls. We've already identified multiple women on the CC campus who are willing to serve as mentors upon the beta release of our app.
As you can see, we took your advice from last year, took a step back, and really thought about the best way of making this idea a reality. The app we have designed allows girls to find nearby mentors, connect with local students at meetups and events, learn to code through mini tutorials, and even reach out to their mentors with all kinds of questions. Looking at these statistics, we see that 90% of parents want their child to study computer science, and 58% of new STEM jobs are in computing. Our initial target market consists of girls in the 6th grade and above who have already expressed an interest in technology. We will begin marketing Geek Girl to families of local middle schools, high schools, and community centers. Additionally, it is important to note that there is virtually no pay gap between men and women in this field. Women earn 94% of what men earn right now, and this is why young women need to take advantage of this.
There are definitely other organizations working to close the gender gap in technology, but none are using mentorship as the primary means of doing so. Not only are we a female-driven company, but we're creating a space where women can foster deep and meaningful relationships and then use those relationships to pave the way for success for all women in the industry.
We will operate under a freemium model. Users can subscribe to our services and unlock features within the app that are unavailable in the free version.
Users of the free version of the app will have access to a chat function where simple questions can be asked to a real person who should be able to answer within a timely manner. In addition to the chat function, members using the free version will have access to a coding tutorial as well as coding games, and also get notifications for any upcoming local events.
Members who subscribe to the premium version of our app will have access to all of the free benefits in addition to being paired with a personal mentor. We'll provide private messaging and video chat functions for help, as well as an interactive map of the nearest mentors, local events, and the number of students participating at each school. Additionally, there will be exclusive meetups for coders of all levels.
We have created financial projections through 2022. We plan on updating the app every 6 months. We truly believe there's a need for this app, and we are confident that through our model, Geek Girl will earn a profit within the first 6 months of operation. We expect to have over 1 million subscribers within the first 2 years of operation, which allows our team, as well as our investors, to enjoy a profit of $1 million. Even if we achieve half of this, we are still succeeding in our mission.
We are happy to have already received monetary support from the Betcher Foundation, who has invested $3,000 in Geek Girl. Additionally, we're very excited to be here today, pitching for the big idea, and to be hosting a Kickstarter event for the Littleton Public Schools District in March.
So this is our team. I'm Lauren. I'm double majoring in computer science and political science here at CC. I've been coding since I was in 7th grade, and this idea is super important to me because it's always been important to me that I find a way to encourage young women to get interested in computer science. I've published 2 iPhone apps on the App Store, each of which has received over 4,000 downloads. So I'm just super excited to be here today and with this team and to be launching another app.
I'm Melissa. I'm a senior economics and business major. I've always been interested in the business side of startups, particularly when they're female-driven. I grew up internationally, and no matter the country in which I was living, the computer science culture was so focused on boys and men that it was hard for young women like myself to become involved in coding-related classes and extracurriculars. Perhaps if this culture shifted, I could be coding satellites for Boeing, just like my brother does.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm a first-year student here at CC and an intended STEM major and education minor. And Geek Girl is really important to me because it provides young women with the confidence and the skills to be competitive applicants in a field that's otherwise dominated by men.
I'm Sarah. I'm a third-year French major following a pre-medical track, and being a STEM, not major, but following a STEM track, and growing up in a predominantly STEM family, I'm really supportive of what Geek Girl's doing in promoting such an under-recognized field for women in STEM. And currently for Geek Girl, I'm working to connect Geek Girl and local middle and high schools in Colorado Springs.
So as Sarah mentioned, we will be hosting a Kickstarter event for the Littleton Public Schools District in March. So we're really excited to be putting some of the money that we've earned from the Innovation Center at CC towards that event. We will also be allocating the funds to marketing expenses and launching the beta version of our app, which we hope to release by the end of July.
So if you imagine your sister or your daughter or your niece, they could be the next Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg.
They could be coding the next spaceship for NASA or the next life-saving technology.
Coding is the closest thing we have to a superpower, and everyone should have access to that.
If you think that you could support Geek Girl in any sort of way, we would love to talk to you at the reception afterwards, and we look forward to meeting some of you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Geek Girl. While the next team is getting prepared to pitch, I just want to update you on what some of the previous winners of the Big Idea are up to and where they are now. Some of you may know Alana Amat and Anna Gilbertson, who won the Big Idea last year with the physics toy kit Momentix. They just recently launched their first Kickstarter to move their prototype into manufacturing. Thus far, they've tripled their initial goal. I believe as of this moment, there's roughly 65 hours left on their project. So there's still time for you to receive the first manufacturing run. Just go to Kickstarter and search Momentix. Chica Chocolate won the Big Idea in 2018. They're a fully launched company based in Boulder, Colorado. They're continuing to grow their product offerings and have significantly increased their customer base since graduating. You can support them at chicachocolate.com. And I don't know if anyone here remembers the raw sauce team, which took third place in 2018 for fermented hot sauce. They've launched their brand in the Bay Area as of last year, and you can purchase their products at wearerawsauce.com. All right, I'm going to call up Seth and Kara for another raffle drawing.
Okay, here we go. So this is the same. These two drawings are the same. It's like the perfect CC student night out. So your $20 to Lau's, 4 ticket punch card to Kimball's, and $10 to Josh and John's. So with that, Seth. 460014. All the way in the back. Come on down. I had a feeling you were going to win because you were sitting in the very back. Hey, congratulations. It is, but so worth it. Look, you're already burning the calories from the tacos. And the food to take care of everyone. Thank you. And so, raffle number 4, final one for this round. Again, $20 Lau's, $4 ticket punch card, and $10 Josh and John's. The number for this one is 460018. Oh, so close. Who's 18? Yay! Come on out. Congratulations. Thank you. Enjoy. All right, we'll see you in the next round, and those are going to be for the final gift cards, which is even more.
Our third team presenting today is MemoryMe. CC student team members presenting are Tony Mastro Marino, Saigopal Rangaraj, and James Dollard. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Tony, and I'm with MemoryMe, the app that uses psychological reassociation to ensure that your memories outlive their physical shells. So, I'd like to share with you a story. Around 30 years ago, after my parents got married, they inherited this dirty, ugly, old floral sofa chair from my grandmother. 3 moves and 4 kids later, this chair became an icon of my home. This was the chair that my siblings and I were nursed in, that my parents read us stories in. I grew up with this chair. Unfortunately, a couple years ago, my parents had to downsize, and the chair just wouldn't fit in the new place. So I have just this terrible memory of helping my sobbing mother drag this significant piece of my childhood out to the curb so it could end up in a landfill somewhere, along with all the memories that it contained. Now, I'd like to invite you all to close your eyes and think of a time where you too lost an item of emotional significance. Do you have it? Maybe it was that beloved sweatshirt that had been with you through thick and thin until on one of your adventures it accidentally got ripped in half. Or maybe once you went off to college, your parents got rid of all of your childhood toys. Whatever it was, wouldn't it have been nice if you could have somehow captured all of the memories and sentimentality that it contained? That's what I thought. And so last summer, I made MemoryMe and used it to help me say goodbye to almost 80% of my things. So what is it? MemoryMe is an app that saves your memories, so they don't end up in a landfill like my old sofa chair. It works in 4 easy steps. Step 1, take a photo or video of the object. Step 2, record your stories of the object, trying to capture as much emotion and memories as you can. This helps to reassociate those memories with a new digital location. Step 3, save and organize your memories, or let the app do it for you. And step 4, take a trip down memory lane. So this was personally useful for myself, but we wanted to know if it could help other people as well. And so we went out and did some user research. We interviewed and surveyed almost 70 people. And I think the story that stood out most to us as to the positive impact that MemoryMe could have was from Nancy. So Nancy, like many of us have or will go through, lost her mother and was charged with dealing with her estate. And as could be understood, Nancy was having a particularly difficult time letting go of some of these items. And she shared with us that it wasn't until she took a photo and recorded her stories that she was finally able to let them go. This showed us the potential that MemoryMe has to help people overcome the emotional roadblocks of life. Now, this is just one of many stories, so I'd like to invite our Chief of Operations, Saigopal, to share with you more about what we learned.
Thank you, Tony. So, when we started with MemoryMe, we thought that it would be a great tool to help people declutter. However, we realized through our user research and through talking to people that it could be a tool for so much more. It could be a great tool for people who are in the process of retirement, who have to capture all the memories of everything that they've built up through the course of their lives. It can be a great tool for parents with young kids who bring home little trinkets from school on a daily basis. It could be a tool to help people who are suffering from Alzheimer's, and it can also help people like Tony's parents who are in the process of downsizing or moving homes so that nothing is lost in the hectic transition. And for those of us who are always on the move and living out of a suitcase, it'll help make sure that our memories travel with us, irrespective of where we're going. We realized that MemoryMe is in fact riding on the back of multiple cultural movements. The first of these is the phenomenon known as Marie Kondo. Her books have sold over 10 million copies, and her Netflix shows become a staple on many of our TVs. Next movement is the tiny homes movement, which is becoming ever more relevant given skyrocketing real estate prices that are going up at about 4.2% every single year. And for the adventurers in the room, CC kids, the van life movement is showing no signs of slowing down, with over 10 million trends on Instagram alone. So I'm sure some of you will be wondering, how do these cultural movements translate into numbers? Well, how about this? Every single year, about 4.5 million people graduate from college. Every single day, about 10,000 people retire. And that's in the US alone. And these numbers are just scratching the surface of an over $25 billion market for people in transition. One important subset that we chose to focus on initially was the market for people who need to declutter. And this is valued at about $4.2 billion. If MemoryMe can capture just 5% of this subset, we'll be turning over about $213 million annually. So where does the competition stand on this? Well, it is not that hard to find a private means to store your memories. And services like Google Drive, iCloud, OneDrive, Shutterfly, the list is endless, make it so that it is not difficult to find an inexpensive or secure way to store your memories. That is, unless someone here is scheming to maybe take down the internet. Wow, tough crowd. Well, where MemoryMe goes beyond the competition is in providing an organized and memory-focused user experience that places your memories at the center of our app. This translates into a 3-tier pricing strategy. The first tier, free tier, comes with unlimited access to your memories. Because as MemoryMe, we do not want to dictate how you can edit or save your memories. The Pro tier enables online features such as sharing as well as cloud backup. And for those of us who want to capture every single memory, the Unlimited tier comes with no cloud storage caps. And for a limited time only, comes with a free memory album. What is a memory album, you may ask? Well, in essence, it's just a photo album. But in reality, it is so much more. It is a condensed, curated home for all of your memories that could make a stunning centerpiece on your coffee table, a lovely gift to give someone dear. Now, I'd like to call upon our Chief Technology Officer, James, to talk about the way forward.
Thanks, Sago. So we've given you a preview of what MemoryMe looks like. We've introduced the market and shown its potential for growth, but how do we plan on developing it? We plan on doing so in 3 phases, the first of which starts right now with the big idea competition. Since MemoryMe will be storing personal, sensitive information, we want to make sure that all of our users have a good experience, and we will spend the rest of this year developing and releasing a beta version with roughly 500 users. This includes implementing a scalable Amazon Web Services compliant cloud service as a backend. And once we've made all the necessary changes to our app, we'll officially release it in January of next year. We'll spend a significant amount of our seed funding on advertising to attract as many users as we possibly can. Then, when our profitability grows, we'll release the Memory Albums feature in October of 2022. With this timeline, we expect to achieve profitability in the 3rd quarter of next year, and we expect our profitability to keep growing as the years go on. So why us? Why are we interested in making MemoryMe? Well, as 3 Colorado College students from Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and Botswana, we know what it's like to leave behind a world of memories. And why are we the team that can get it done? The 3 of us are computer science majors who hopefully don't fit the stereotype Geek Girl was talking about too much. But because of that, we have coding experience inside and outside of the classroom, and we know how to get this built. Tony specifically spent 2 years working in IT between high school and college, and he's already built a front-end prototype of MemoryMe. Tony is a first year here at Colorado College, and he is our CEO and will be leading our development efforts.
Sagopal is our Chief of Operations, and he is also a first year here at CC. And he's not only a computer science major, but also an economics major. Using his experience, having worked in a planning commission in the Botswana government, Saigo knows what it takes to get a project from idea to completion.
And last but not least, James, our Chief Technology Officer, being the only sophomore on our team, brings his in-depth knowledge in the fields of computer science and economics to ensure that we can take MemoryMe to the next level.
If any part of our message resonated with you, please get in contact with us after the event. We'd love to have you join us on our journey in making MemoryMe a reality for people like Nancy to ensure that no memory ends up in the landfill like my old Silverchair. Thank you.
Thank you, MemoryMe. While our final team is getting ready, I just wanted to let you know some ways that we are expanding the Changemaker programming beyond the big idea at Creativity and Innovation at CC. This year we added the Changemaker workshop series, which was a 4-part workshop series this fall that led students through the core elements of executing an idea in a business context. Myself, as well as my team, have been working for the last 3 years on launching another more flexible, less time-constrained way to fund student ideas. As I said, we've been working on this for a long time, so I'm excited to announce that we are close to launching Student Seed Innovation Grants. So these grants will fund student exploration and creative inquiry based on a question they seek to answer or a problem they hope to solve. These grants of $3,000 to $8,000 will be an unprecedented resource that will empower students to immerse themselves fully in executing their ideas in a real-world context. We're working as quickly as we can. I don't know exactly when it will launch, hopefully by the end of this academic year, but if not, then fall of 2020. This summer, we're also funding 4 to 6 students to join an innovation incubator in Portugal. We have a lot of guiding questions here at Creativity and Innovation at CC, but one of the ones that I've been thinking a lot about is how might we empower our students to work productively across difference. We chose this incubator because 65 countries will be represented, and the students will work on multinational teams to solve real-world problems over 3 weeks. The application for this year has closed, but if the pilot is successful, we hope to partner with the incubator moving forward. If you want to know more about how you can engage with creativity and innovation at CC, be sure to read our newsletters. We're in the process of working on a new website, which will launch by the first day of Block 7. And if you really want to understand our approach and hear a lot about it, I'm going to be the first Monday speaker, Block 7 of this year. So before I announce the final team, we're going to have our final 2 grand prize raffle drawings.
Okay, so these are the grand prize drawings, and all of you that did not win earlier are super psyched that your ticket is still in here. So for the grand prize, each of these envelopes contains a $100 Mountain Chalet gift card, a $50 Poor Richard's gift card, a $25 Ladyfingers Press gift card, a $20 Laos gift card, and $20 to Josh and John's. Yeah. All right, Seth. Exactly. You find him if you don't win. Okay, so 460016 or 16. Nice. Wow, coming from the side. I need your ticket. Thank you. There's your fun. All right. One left, same one, same deal. All right, go Seth. Pick a good one. 460021. 21.
That was my friend, but he left.
Oh my God, he made a really bad choice.
I'm sure he's right after me, but I can give him.
I'm sorry. We shall re-choose. We have to have them. No, you have to be present to win. Okay, so 460017, this is your day. Oh my God, everyone should have been sitting with them. Good job. Congratulations. There you go. Take your ticket. Tell your friend sorry. All right, thanks everyone.
It pays to stay. I told you at the beginning. No. Our final team competing today is Infinite Chemistry. You might remember them from the finals last year. They did not receive funding last year, but they did not give up. I'm incredibly proud of this team and the progress that they've made over the last year. CC student team members presenting are Prakar Gotham, Paul Price, and Cameron McDonald. Additional team members not presenting are CC students Pietro Giacomine and Tian Lee. Please join me in welcoming Infinite Chemistry.
Ready?
Give the clicker.
Yeah, I have the clicker. Hi everyone. Like Des said, my name is Prakar Gotham. I'm a senior biochemistry major at CC and one of the co-founders of Infinite Chemistry. The reason my team and I are here today is because we want to tell you about a problem that I and my fellow majors have encountered while learning chemistry. This problem is at the very heart of how we teach the subject, and any student learning chemistry, whether in high school or college, eventually stumbles upon it, translating 2D representations into real 3D objects. For the non-chemists in the room, I realize this might be a little bit complicated, so I'm going to use an analogy to explain further. Behind me is a blueprint, which were the standard through which we used to design and create, until the emergence of 3D modeling tools. These tools allow us to create seamlessly and fluidly within 3D space. These tools have also led to the modern revolution in engineering and architecture. Meanwhile, this is what my chemistry homework looks like. We've taught chemistry using a pen and paper model, which can be considered essentially the blueprint of all chemical reactions for the last 200 years. At Infinite Chemistry, we believe it's time for an update. And so in 2018, we created Infinite Chemistry. The first iteration of our software allowed us to get user data from student trials performed at CC's chemistry department. Through these trials and other subsequent trials, we came to realize that our software, while being able to teach chemistry, was too restrictive. We didn't offer the creativity and freedom that's found in VR. We wanted to do more and show more. And so we created Infinite Chemistry 2.0. This is a user using our brand new molecular interaction system. They can not only rotate, but change the size, shape, and understand symmetry of molecules like never before. But we didn't stop just there. We decided to create our own molecular loading system. What this means is that we can take any molecule, any protein, any chemical structure on any chemical database online and import it into the Infinite Chemistry world right now. So to tell you more about who Infinite Chemistry is as a team, here's Cameron McDonald.
Thanks, Prakar. I'll take it from here. Hi, everybody. Infinite Chemistry is the 5 of us, Paul, Prakar, Pietro, Tian, who's at Baca, and myself. We're a group of CC seniors who have been working on this problem for 2 years now. In the 21st century, multitasking is everything. It's the only way to learn, and it's the only way to run a startup. For us, that means taking on a bunch of intertwined responsibility that keeps Infinite Chemistry going forward. But the real core of our team is the idea of being a student-led movement or organization. And being student-led doesn't just mean that we're owned or operated by students because all of us are graduating, like I said, at the end of the semester. But student-led does mean 2 things. One, it means that inclusive learning happens inside and outside of the classroom. And 2, that it means creating a new student culture that focuses on learning, sharing, and creating. And that's what Infinite Chemistry has been doing for the last 2 years. We've been learning, sharing, and creating. Our advisors have helped us do that a lot. Their experience in the private sector and in academia are lessons that we're constantly learning. And that's why we're so excited to be back at the Big Idea, because we're excited with all the things that we've learned. When we left last year, like Des said, we didn't get any seed funding. That was a really tough position for us to be in as a young company. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to progress. We decided to keep doing CC student trials, and that really kept us going forward. From there, we took advantage of opportunities in the local ecosystem, like pitch nights, where we learned to hone our message and deliver it to the community. After that, we did the What If Festival. This was a great opportunity right here in Colorado Springs, and we didn't expect the outcome at all. When we had little kids and adults who hadn't been students for 10 or 20 years try our product, they didn't really like it. And that's because of what Prakar said. It wasn't intuitive. It wasn't what they expected from virtual reality. And so that's the change to Infinite Chemistry 2.0 that you guys saw on the screen today. You all saw on the screen today. Go Code Colorado was the next step. We learned, or we relearned, all the skills that the block plan taught us, how to work in a high-stress environment very quickly and how to communicate amongst team members. The last step was the Common On-Champ Accelerator, which kind of focused us into the big idea for 2020. And that's why we're so happy to have gotten our seed funding. Thank you to Colorado College. We're so happy to know where to go next. And part of that is knowing who our customers are. Infinite Chemistry has a dual subscriber model. We imagine two sets of customers. One is the personal user, the student who will pay $10 a month. They might be at a school that doesn't offer Infinite Chemistry. They might be preparing to go to PhD in chemistry like Prakar, and they might want to do the GRE test in an environment that makes sense. They might want to engage in practice problems in an environment that makes sense. For the academic user, it's about creating a highly collaborative, highly customizable space where professors can engage their students in a real virtual classroom, not just somewhere where they're learning chemistry lessons in kind of this fake VR world. And Paul is going to tell you how both of these users are a pathway forward to taking over VR.
Thank you, Cameron. So as we move on to the future, one of the biggest things for us is getting our software up and running, and that means releasing it in 2021. With this release, we continue to plan and expand through our local quad of colleges in the Springs, UCCS, Pikes Peak Community College, as well as having the goal of being available to every student in the Colorado public college system by 2023. This means in our user base that's composed of personal and academic users that we should see our licenses grow to 50,000 by 2025. And we've outlined a clear path to get there. It starts with applying to Exponential Impacts Accelerator. Through XI, we'll have access to further funding, testing, and networking opportunities to further Infinite Chemistry's development, as well as being paired with mentors and other local startups. So as we learn on our own, we also learn by immersing ourselves in the local community. And these projections are based off the virtual reality and AR market growth in the coming years. As an education technology company, we understand that we need to find our place in the emerging global market as soon as possible. And not only is VR the best way to solve that elementary teaching, the chemistry teaching problem, but it is also the largest sector in the educational technology market. Currently, EdTech is worth about $1.8 billion. And by 2025, it is expected to boom by over 700%. That means VR is beating out AI, blockchain, and robotics combined. With all these new technologies and innovations, there's a very large increased need for cost-effective educational tools, which means we're not alone in this venture, but we do know what separates us from our competition. Our two main competitors include MemoryMe and MemoryMe. MemoryMe focuses on a younger audience and incorporates cardboard cutouts in place for VR headsets. This means they're ignoring virtual reality's true potential, while Infinite Chemistry plans on building a software that uses virtual reality to push learning to its limits. MemoryMe, on the other hand, focuses too much on a software for researchers at the NIH and not a student at Colorado College. And our final main competitor would be the Model Kit. It's a chemistry classroom standard around the globe. And Infinite Chemistry plans on building a software that provides more chemistry intuition than clipping two pieces of plastic together. And with the $7,500 from the big idea, we'll be able to do just that. In 2019, with our summer pre-seed funding, we were able to buy a few desktop computers and monitors. However, even with all this growth, we quickly realized that the lack of hardware was a bottleneck in moving forward. But now, with the $7,500, we'll be able to purchase several desktops and VR headsets to progress and bring Infinite Chemistry to the future. But this is also a great moment to say thank you to Colorado College and the other local startup community, including the Pikes Peak Pitch Night events, for helping us and supporting us through this moment for the past 2 years. It's a great feeling to finally be here and leave with some money. Our next ask is engagement. And this is one of the most important things for everyone in the audience to do today. Whether it be attend a pitch night, a demo day, or an event just like this where you can see students create and run their own companies, it is important to be active and engaged with the rest of the startup community. So get out there and start attending these events. And for the students here in the audience, the local startup community is always looking to work with anybody. Expand your horizons, whether that be through a VR headset or an internship. And lastly, we have one more announcement, which is if you go to infinitechemistry.com today and go to our product page, you can register for our beta and get news and announcements about the upcoming release. Thank you, and Prakar has one last thing to share with everyone.
Thank you, Paul. I want to use my presence on the stage today to give thanks to a few individuals. About 2 years ago, I was a young kid struggling through chemistry. And somehow, mysteriously, some ways, I found some friends around me who were willing to help me learn to do chemistry better. They said they could help me build a software to learn. They said they would be with me to start a company. So people like Peter Jacquemin, who's in the audience right now, he's one of the most dedicated and kindest people I've ever met. Someone like Paul and Cameron, who both have been with me for 2 years, have helped start Infinite Chemistry to be what it is today. People like Jake and Des, who supported me throughout my entire journey and never stopped believing in me once. And thank you so much to Eli Farnkirk, who has been the best role model I've ever had. Thank you all today. See you at the reception.
All right, thank you. Let's give a final hand to all 4 teams who presented today. Before we hand out the ceremonial checks, Kara is going to be leading us in the cheering competition, which I myself have never witnessed before because I've always been in the judging deliberation room, but it's usually a little contentious. Let's see.
I've never done this either, so I actually have no idea what we're doing at this point. Okay, let's start by doing a cheer for all the teams so we can get a baseline of what really loud is. Let's start with that. So once again, thanking all 4 of the finalist presenting teams today. Go for it. Okay, good, great. Thank you. So we'll start with team 1, Journalista. Give it up for Journalista. Cheer loud, cheer hard. Length is, part of it too. Team 2, Geek Girl. Give Geek Girl a hand. Solid turnout for Geek Girl. Nice work. Team 3, MemoryMe. Good job. Tough crowd, huh? And for our finalists, our final finalist team, Infinite Chemistry. Give it up for them. We have to confer. All right, based on the 2 of us who are deciding this. The winner of a $200 Poor Richard's gift card for the winner of the cheer competition is MemoryMe, Team 3.
So you all can stay up here, and I'd like to invite all 4 teams up to the stage, please.
Pizza for everyone.
All right. Journalista.
It's big, it's much bigger than
Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Please stick around and join us at the reception and congratulate these teams. Thank you.